My whole room looks like a my whole room looks like a ding dong mess. That's what I realized. Look at the giant mess behind me. I have oh well, not over there, but like skulls here, you know, and my little clay face that holds all my receipt things. And these are a bunch of movies that I still gotta, hey PP, that I gotta review. And that stack still goes way up, by the way. That stack's like way up there. And then I got my faces up on the wall, but you can't see them on my YouTube. There's Puppet Me. It's covered in dog hair currently. It's missing its my eyeball's coming off. It's actually on Velcro though, so it's okay. But yeah, Puppet Me, which was hilarious, and yeah. But anyway, I'm dying. I hope not. Jesus Christ. Ugh. That one just caught me weird, made me gag. Oh my God. It's all the soda I've been drinking. I am not used to this shit. I don't know why it's hacking to. Maybe we all got the Rona. Oh, Jesus. That would suck. I swear to God, mine is just my fucking allergies. Anyway. Then you can see all my fairies back there still piled up that I've not yet done anything with. All my skull things there. Just messes of crazy stuff I play with and I do. All about creativity, man. Creativity is what I do. You know? My wife's up there sneezing her head off. I'm in here hacking up along right now. It's cray-cray up in this business, up in our house. Now, where the heck? There they go. There they are. Yar. There you are. What in the hell's on that? Dust? Dirt? Dog doo-doo? The dog doo-doo. So, God damn it, chair, stop, bro. Please stop. Still slowly going down. Anyway, so today, originally, and I didn't really plan it out too well. I really should start planning these out better. Where the hell did you go? I just saw you. Where last week on a Wednesday, damn it, eraser, you jackass. We had everybody show up and do kind of a fun little doodle class. It was fun. This is what I've been working on all week, but we're going to put that aside for today just for fun. And tweak. Excuse me, something new. With some paper. Regular paper. And a regular pencil for once. Well, this isn't a regular pencil. This is actually a little kid pencil. And you can actually see the lead. I'll hold it up to my bald ass forehead. You can see the lead there. This is like a number 9 lead pencil. Pretty fat lead. Because like number 5 is like the thin, super thin stuff. And then number 7 is like the standard kind of pen tip or pencil tip lead. Number 9 is big and fat. Here's why I like it. Here's why I like my tips big and fat. Is because shading purposes. So, oh man. Oh, hold on a minute. It's been a weird morning. That's why I'm a little late again. I'm always late though. Learn that. Whenever I say, hey, I'm going to jump on at noon, God knows it'll definitely be like noon 30. Well, no one will ever take anything I say the wrong way. That's why I say things the way I say things. I know people will take them for exactly how I say them. So if I was to, man, I really got to get like a schedule for hardcore stuff. Because, God dang, man. I need to do a scheduled thing and definitely have it where it's like, hey, everybody, learn with 4 on this stuff. Because that's what I did like last, not this last Saturday, but the Wednesday, I did it. And it went over really rather well. And then I said, hey, I'm going to start doing these on Saturdays where everybody gets to learn something. And I guess I need to start putting like an announcement with, hey, this week supplies are this. Tag a bunch of people. Try to get everybody involved. I think it'll be fun. Just see how far I can go with it. He calls everybody PP. He calls his mom PP. He calls his friends PP. It's just his nickname for everybody. I'm like, what up, PP? Yeah. Make sure my nose ring is set. What up? Okay. So, what I'm going to do today is this. I thought I could have people doodle along, right? Hopefully doodle along. Kind of an art with me today thing. Again, kind of a, learning thing. But it's not really going to be learning. Today we're just going to be kind of, let's do something together. So if everybody gets paper and pencil, it'd be great. But nobody's going to care. So instead, I'm just going to draw with a pencil. I'm going to do a pencil piece today. All graphite. And if I knew where my damn charcoal stuff was, let me see. I think I have a charcoal pencil in here, but if so, I only have like 1 or maybe 2. I did have, and I don't think they're in. Oh, look at that. Yeah, here's one of my charcoal pencils. Covered in sticky pee-pee. Hey, pee-pee. I'm definitely doodling along. All right, cool, man. Hang on a minute. Well, I have one of my charcoals. Now, for anybody who doesn't know the difference between a charcoal pencil and regular pencils, it's pretty simple. And I'll show you. Charcoal pencil. Regular pencil. You can blatantly see there's a huge difference there. One's better at lighting on fire than the other one. Yes, pretty much accurately. Ew. Gross. I don't know what's sticky in here. It was on my eraser too the other day. You can't erase charcoal. That's the big difference. You can erase pencils. So, and you don't get lead poisoning from either. You don't get lead poisoning from pencils. That's a crock. Back in the day, lead or pencil lead was made from lead. And that is where the lead poisoning came from. If you got stabbed with a pencil, yes, you would obtain lead poisoning, depending, et cetera, et cetera. That's why they moved on to graphite. And that's what pencils are now made from. Pencil lead is now made from graphite. They do not have lead in them. So now if somebody goes, oh, you get lead poisoning, tell them they're an idiot. Because that's a crock of shit. Big difference is this. The smoothness that comes out of this is beautiful. I mean, it's just a darkened line. I know you can't really see that too well, but like it's automatically a darker line on top. Smooth. The blending is also completely different. Usually charcoals are pretty harsh. You have multiple levels of color or of tone. So you'll have like a light one that's almost like a light pencil shade to a very, very dark one where you can just lightly shade it, but it'll still be black. So it's kind of nice to have those. You'll see a lot of charcoal drawings be very sharp. They won't have a lot of, I mean, it depends. There's some artists that shade it in and do a lot of blurring and stuff, but a lot of them are just like mostly sketch work. It's really weird. I wish I could get this a little, get it closer. Yeah, I got stabbed with a pencil once and I thought I had lead poisoning until I was told that mechanical pencils use graphite. So maybe the connection that they probably just stuck with graphite and pencil. So I made the connection. Yeah. All pencils, even regular wooden ones now are graphite and everything. So it's they changed that years ago, man. So you're good and everybody else is good. So here's what we're gonna do today. I figured at first I was gonna be like, hey, let's learn about like shapes and things. Oh, I got weird colors on my fingers from that. Dang it. Oh, again, my kids painted my nails with markers, so now they look gross. Oh. Anyway, so originally I was gonna like say, hey, let's talk about shapes and connectivity between art and shapes, because everything's shaped. Everything's weird ass shapes, and that's what they're supposed to teach you and stuff. But nah, fuck that. I mean, shapes are like for people who actually learn art. We're gonna skip learning about basics, and we're just gonna make cool shit. Ugh. Looks like they're bleeding beneath my nails. Nah, that's all good. So anyway, we're gonna doodle a zombie, I think, because why not? Zombies are fun. Zombies are fun, and it's Halloween time, so everything I do this month will be Halloween time. Because that's all I know how to do is creepy, weird shit. Here's the deal. Look at the shape of a human head. It's kind of an oval egg shape. Mine is, right? Some people have weird football heads, or some people have like tomato round heads. I don't like tomato round-headed people. It's a weird thing. I just can't trust them for some reason. Something about a tomato head makes me go, you're a tomato head. And I can't trust that. So anyway, I draw all my people with oblongular shaped regular people heads, like my own. So I'm going to do this kind of bigger, lightly. Okay, first of all, so you can erase your lines properly, lightly draw the oval shape. I wouldn't blame me. I'd call someone who has a tomato head a tomato head. Yeah, no, I do. I don't care. Anyway, so lightly draw your oval shape here. Okay. And we'll clean this up. This is why you're lightly doing it. Right? So it's a nice, decent size oval shape. No big deal. Obviously, it's just a big round half-ass circle. It's like the circle's drunken cousin. And I'm taking up about 2/3, a little less than 2/3 of the page on this one, because I want it to be big enough to put some details in that you guys can see from back there when we really get to the scribblings. And also in case I decide to put like a neck, into it. You don't have to doodle the neck yet. But if I decide to put like a neck and a shoulder, I'm just working on the face today. Okay. Now that we've lightly done it, here's the kicker. We got to put our points to where the hell everything's going to be. Now, again, last week sometime, I was talking about in these books, and I don't know where my, not dark enough to see. Hang on there. I know. Look. It's not dark enough yet. Do a light sketch first, because you're going to be erasing these lines. And that's what I said. So we're doing lightly. So anyway, last week I talked about, or whenever it was, I happened to mention doing faces, that there's this method that you see in all the books where when they draw the head, they'll do like a line down the center, and then they do like a line down like this way, and like a line down that way. I don't know what the hell that's called. And my buddy here, who is usually on these every time, he knew the method, and I don't know where he's at, so that sucks. So in your light doodle here, let me get it up closer, maybe so. See, it's very light. And unfortunately, my lighting is trash. It doesn't allow for, there you go. So here's what we're going to do on this one. About halfway down, a little bit higher than halfway down, is going to be where your eyeballs are at. Shit, that is very light. I don't want it to be too dark, though, because, you know, you want it erasable. Okay, so make it a light line so it's erasable. And then what you're going to do is, you know, another halfway down from that is going to be where your nose is at. And then like another halfway down from that's where your mouth's supposed to be. Something like that. Something like that. This is how I'm starting to do it because it makes some kind of sense. But we're doing a zombie, so this thing ain't going to really matter in the end. I mean, it will, but you'll see. So, going off that, we're going to build our human head. Okay? Gosh, this is hard. Hard, people. Hard. Only because I do have to make it light enough to erase, but I got to have it up close enough that you guys can see it. Huh. I need to make something I can hold paper up closer because I'm not used to the paper thing. Paper. It's what's for dinner. Come on, chair, move. Anyway. All right. So now, can you see it? I know you can. Oh, come on. Trying to see if I turn it that way, it gets that bright ass light from the other room. And that's part of the problem. Anyway. Anyway. Oh, baby Jesus, there's some lines. So, okay. Now here's what we're going to do. We're going to make a basic human face first. You're not really too worried about it. Here's going to be your eyeballs. Actually, those need to be down a little bit lower, like literally halfway. Because your eyeballs are going to land. Oh my God. Let me erase that top line a little bit because it was a little bit high. But your eyeballs are going to be basically in your thirds. So if you take and you split it off into thirds, I know this is like a bunch of weird math. We're going into pinhead here. Like, what the hell? I don't even know what I'm doing. This is like, like I'm kind of half-assed figuring this out. But anyway, dude, just doodle some eyeballs. I'm a terrible teacher. Right? There'd be some eyeballs, roughly within that space. Your nose is going to be down here. And keep in mind, we're just kind of basically doing a basic thing here. Basic face to where we're going to be. Okay? Basic face. Okay? Okay. I'm sure that's easy enough and you guys got that. Being a teacher's hard. By the way, jeez, I hate this. I hate trying to teach things. I'm not even teaching things. I'm just like, hey, just do this. We're doodling together. But I'm getting the basics so then you can kind of do extra stuff. I wish everybody else was here. Like Erica's not here and JD's not here and nobody's here. Well, we're on Saturday and it's noon. I wonder where they're all at. So here's the kicker. It's not a kicker at all. This is the bottom of your chin. This is kind of a rounded face. Personally, okay. I'm gonna make my chin a little darker right here under the mouth, about the same distance of the mouth. Okay. And then from the nose point here, I'm gonna bring in the cheek a little bit. I just don't want it to be round. Unless you're making them chubby cheeked, which is what I would look like. But I'm going to just kind of bring it up like a jawbone. You know. You don't have to do this. You can keep it kind of whatever. To give it kind of more of a stronger jaw-ish look. You know what I mean? Okay. That one's a little off over there. And bring it up. So, my nose is a little crooked. That's okay. It's not going to be a nose for long. Now, here's the deal. On your eyeballs, if you notice, your ears start at the same distance. You can't really see mine, but your ears start at the top, like your eyeballs. So, like you have your ear, and it starts pretty much right here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Tainting the floor. There you go. Hey, what's up, man? So I did it again. Now I'm glad you showed up. So your ears start right here at the top of the eye. So the same area there. So when you do your ears are weird. Okay. A lot of people do ears like they're dumb. Okay. Don't do dumb ears. Don't do dumb ears. Get back up here, paper. Ears are right up against your damn head. Look, when you don't have a beard that covers up your ears, what do you see? Barely any fucking ear at all. Really? You know, your ear is almost like just like a weird little side flap. Side flaps. They're not ears anymore. They're not called side flaps. So when you doodle the side flap, okay, you literally just kind of come up a little bit, down a little bit, swoop diddly doo, and then you have some weird little inside parts. It's not hard. It's real simple to do an ear. Just keep your side flaps close. Granted, some people have big ass ears. Okay, I get it. They can tune into HBO for free. They can hear into Tomorrow We've Heard All the Jokes. But your average side flaps aren't like that. Your average side flaps are simple. Okay. And then just do another one. By the way, never worry about your ears or your side flaps being the same because no two side flaps are the same. Ever. No two side flaps are the same. Remember that. Okay. But side flaps are pretty simple. So, whoop. Now my head's a little wide. I've been doing wide ass heads lately. Why? All my heads have been pretty wide lately. Anyway, this is my cheek area, so I'm going to darken that in a little bit to match everything else and bring it all down. So we can start darkening in our head a little bit. Then I'm going to take my eraser, take my big eraser, and I'm going to erase all this other bullshit lines down here to get those out my damn way. Kind of clean up as I go. You know what I mean? I'm also going to erase all the little light lines in between, not the head, but just all the other bullshit. Since I got the basics of everything I want down, yeah. I don't even usually do lines. I'm just kind of doing that to kind of help get everybody a perspective of where shit should go easier. Because sometimes when people, it's easy to draw and get lost. Oh, you're still not ready? We're just doodling zombies today. I figured Halloween, you know, zombies. And you totally missed the earlier parts then, Erica. Yeah, look at that. Sorry. Put my nose back in place a little bit. And I just erased all the line work, which was what made it easier to do the face. Because we're at a little bit of a human face right now. Kind of a weird, I don't even know. And I just was saying, I wonder where my usual peeps are at. You know. So, anyway. No. That's where we're at. Mr. Plain Jane face. For a zombie. Kind of an egghead guy. Which is okay. So, all right. Again, my ears. Now, here's the deal. Since we're doing a zombie, you don't have to have ears. So you can erase the ears if you want, or if you're not good at ears, you can skip them. But practice makes pancakes, and if you doodle more ears, more side flaps, as we call them now, then you're going to be good. You're going to be all right. You know? At this point, we have the basics of the basics, and we can do whatever the hell we want. Because now it's zombie time. Keep in mind, regular eyeballs aren't a thing. Regular noses, regular mouths, regular everything is irrelevant because it's going to be a zombie. So if you follow along with what I do, we'll see what happens. On a personal note, I hate noses. I talk about this all the time. I suck at noses. They're garbage. But I'm going to do this anyway because I want to show you something that is technique. Gasp. I know I said technique, the blasphemous word that I hate so much on noses. Oh, God help me. Now, if you look at the nose structure, and we have our eyeballs here, so our skull shape, I don't know if you can get a good look at that. I'm doing it really light. Our skull shape will be something like this. See what I mean? Skull shape would be something along those lines, right? Okay. So in that, I'm going to keep the nose. I'm going to erase where that's at, but I am going to take my pencil very lightly. And I'm going to shade in the top of that nose a little bit, kind of like a skull. Ooh, you know, like they do in the movies. And they make it kind of shitty. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, that's too simple, bro. Sure it is, bro. Again, I say bro ironically. So we're kind of doing that right now, right? Well, the one side's kind of stupid. Hang on, let me fix that. When you shade in, there's a couple of methods of shading too, by the way. A lot of people do this. Lines, right? And lines are great and all if you're doing like hatch work, where you'll go back over the other way. In cartoon world, that's a great one. You know, roll it around. Take your pencil lightly, roll it around, 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 roll it around. And the places you want to get darker, just kind of lay it in a little darker. Roll it around, roll it around, roll it around. Because eventually, the rolling it around, because what we're doing today, I'll tell you why. And eventually the darker areas will blur really well together. But the difference is going to be night and day when we do this. Versus trying to do it with lines. Because with your lines, you're going to have a lot of harder moments. See? However, when we start doing that with our finger here in a few minutes, it's going to look a lot better. So as far as the nose goes, going to give it kind of a light skullish look, little scully look. And then we're going to take our little fingers, and we're going to just kind of fade that in, just like we just did there. We're going to kind of give it a little fade, a little fadey fade. Just rub it in a little bit. Looks a little like more. Looks a little more better. Looks a little more better. And that's how we're going to do shading today. Now let me erase around those eyeballs where the skull eyes are at. Oh, okay. So now you kind of get where we're going, I hope. Okay. We're going to be using our fingers as our blender. Now, you know, they actually have little white sticks that are like, and you can use Q-tips and things like that too, like this. But for actual graphite blenders. What the fuck? Oh, my Q-tips are all over there. Do I have one on the floor? I do have one dirty one on the floor. Gross. Gross. Another dirty one on the floor. They just spilled everywhere. I was going to say I'll try to use it. I'm still fat. So let me see here. Yeah, you're pretty dirty. Just rolled around on the goddamn floor. Gross. I was going to say I can use it and kind of. They have like a blender method with these. Not with these necessarily, but where they'll actually use it and blend in the same thing so you don't have to use your finger. I always use my finger. Anyway, screw it. Let's get to business, people. Let's start just waylaying into this, okay? Now, I'm not used to just doing this slow and teaching people, but here's the deal. When you're doing an eyeball, your eyeballs go like this. You have a little indent and then like a snaky top part over, okay? Because you have this little part right here in your eyeball, All right. Boop. And then you have your eyelid. And notice your eyelid when you go up, you have all these wrinkles. I do. I have tons of wrinkles. You have wrinkles. You have your under eyelid wrinkles and all that crap there. You also have this indentation here. And this whole area, which is, this is actually your oculus cavity here, your skull right here. So keep that in mind. Okay. So here's what we're doing. We're going to give it a little dip and just pull it over and open it up. Like that's where the eye would normally be. Okay. Right. So the top part of this, yes, we're going to keep that. We're going to kind of delete the bottom part. I shouldn't use this eraser. This eraser's trash. You're garbage. I hate your guts. See if I can erase that blob. This is why you do light lines, people. Light lines. Anyway, so we still have the upper eyelid, and we're going to just kind of give him an upper eyelid, a couple of different pieces to that. No big deal. Okay. But the bottom part, we're going to go ahead and have it kind of opened up. And by doing that, just a bunch of lines. See? A whole bunch of little lines. That's all it is. A bunch of random ass little lines. Okay. The beauty of this is those little lines, man, they don't mean nothing. They're just little random lines, but they look like they're details, but they're not. Shh, don't tell nobody. But it follows along. You don't want to get too far out of what you would consider the oculus cavity area, because if you do, it'll look stupid. If I was to doodle these way down here, it wouldn't make any goddamn sense. You know, if they had like bags under their eyes all the way down here, they'd be like, dude, what the fuck? Is their face melting off? Now, if you want their face melting off, sure, that would work out great. Make their face melt off. In this case, no, his eyelids just kind of janky. And that's what we're doing right there. Now, this eye here, let's just go all balls to the wall. Let's say it's ripped completely out. So here's how we do this. We're going to make a huge ripped hole, okay? Don't worry about how clean the rip looks, because it's a rip. You know, so don't concentrate. Don't sit there and be like, I got to make it perfect. Shut up. Nothing's perfect. So you're just going to make it a bunch of squiggly wigglies of ripped stuff. Bam. Now he looks like a shitty character or a shitty member of Kiss. So a member of Kiss. I said it. Anyway. So now we got to get rid of this because his eyeball is no longer a normal like eyeball. No big deal. Get rid of that eyeball. See what I'm saying? Okay. All right. God, this is killing my arm. Let me set that back down for a second. Do a Fortnite dance. I don't know what I'm doing. So, before I actually doodle eyeballs, keep in mind, if you don't have your eyelid, and your eyeball looks kind of like that. So just remember that. So without eyeballs and eyelids and stuff, you're going to have a pretty solid eyeball shape. You know, pretty round one. Unless you don't want him to have an eyeball at all, in which case, make it a big, meaty hole. But I'm going to give him an eyeball, just like his skin was ripped off, and instead he has kind of this weird, globbity eyeball thing going on. And we're going to give just a bunch of weird line action. Now keep in mind, the skull cavity, your ocular cavity is still right here, full of muscle. So you just got to kind of make sure you don't just make it a big black hole. Again, just a bunch of weird, random little lines. Doodly lines, doodly lines, doodly lines. And you'll come out with something kind of like that so far. See, not so bad so far. You know, not too shabby. Just a little kind of zombie action so far. A little zombie guy. Nothing too shabby. Nothing too bad. So, just thinking of what else I want to do before I do it. Do the mouth. And what up? So we're going to erase the mouth part a little bit because we know where it's at now, and the light line, or the light line, is still kind of there. But this is just to get around it. So obviously we don't want lips. Scratch my ankle with my pencil. All right, we don't want lips. So, you know, lots of teeth, ripped out mouth, looking like a zombie. You know what I mean? Obviously. In fact, we're probably going to bring this whole rip down the side together is what we're going to do. So here, we'll give him kind of we'll give him lips right here. Like that. This is what I'm doing. And I know it's kind of hard because if you guys aren't experienced zombie makers, this might be a little rough. This might be a little rough. His mouth's going to be slightly open. But I'm going to go ahead and give him a little lip job here. Oops, that was stupid. Just give him that bottom lip a little bit, kind of like that, and his top lip. And he's kind of like, ah. But then we're going to make all this gone. We're going to bring it all up together. So at this point, this whole side of his face is going to be just gone. You know, you don't really need a face, let's be honest. I mean, look at me. I look like this, so I don't really need a face. If I can get half this shit pulled off and replaced, I'd be happy. So anyway, here's the kicker. Now, the human face, this is what's rough. This is what kills everybody. Skulls are hard. Skulls are not hard, but skulls are hard in the sense of there's depth to them, and people don't realize that. Here's your ocular cavity. Here's your nodular cavity. I'm making that up. And then underneath your nodular cavity, you have your teeth, which come in, and they follow a pattern back, right? Up and back. And then your cheekbone is right here. Okay? So you have like this cheekbone action right there, and the teeth follow back behind that, as well as your bottom ones follow back behind that, and your jawbone actually comes down a little bit more in because there's more meat right there. So I fucked up the jaw back there, my bad. And in, and then up. So there's a lot to it going on back here, you know? So in drawing the teeth, you just want to kind of draw the teeth in, and as they go back, kind of small them, make them smaller a little bit, like lean, small, skinnier. Yeah, there we go. Upon themselves back, and this will kind of give it more of a deep kind of feel, like it's going back because they're kind of overlapping as they go. So you'll see less of the one behind them. So it gives it kind of a curvature feel. See what I mean? Kind of works that way. I'm a terrible teacher. And oh, there you are, Captain Know-It-All. No, actually, I was talking about you earlier, and I knew you. There was a term I was looking for, and I needed you, and you weren't here, and it was very disappointing. I was like, my art professor guy isn't here, so he can't answer this question for me. But I totally missed it. Or I mean, yeah, you weren't here to help me out, buddy. So I needed you. I needed your smarts for once. I was all, dang, I can't make fun of him now. I actually need his answer. I can't be a jackass this time. And but obviously the teeth are going to go over past the lip thing. Boop, boop, boop. Bottom jaw, same thing. You know, you just kind of pull them out and make them follow suit back. And the same thing with the fronts. Now, granted, I know your bottom teeth are smaller. I really don't give a shit. We're just making a zombie. Mm-hmm. Now, again, every zombie is different. So are they going to all have clenched teeth? No. In fact, it would have been much more zombie-like if I would have made his jaw falling off. Or I get it. But you know what? I'm just going to do this for a minute. And here in a second at the end, I'm going to throw down hard because we already knew this for a few. And I ain't got very far in it. But darken up that nose a little bit. Make it obviously a nose. So this is our basic construct of our zombie, right? Sadly, I already blackened in these lines pretty dark. So unfortunately, those lines are going to stay there. And that sucks. Because remember when earlier we were building the structure of the head, I said, oh, we're going to darken these in so we have the line work of the head. Always make your lines light. So when you do, have to erase them, boom, they're good. Until you finalize it, you realize this is where we're done. Scribble, scribble, scribble. Because now, granted, this jawline right here, I can fix that with the dark line. But anything else, I'm kind of screwed. No, but that's okay because I'm all about screwing myself. So now that I decided to tear all this apart, got that. We don't have a head. Keep in mind, I also hate hair. But let's work on the dome nugget. So we're going to kind of pull out his dome nugget here a little bit and make it a little bit more squared on top. Ah! So his hairline would come, it'd be your basic kind of hairline. He's got kind of a tall head. He's got like a 6 head, all right? You can give him a little widow's peak action. There we go. So let me erase this shit here a little bit. Okay. You got some kind of slick Dracula hair going on there. He's like Dracula zombie. Anyway, actually, it looks like somebody I kind of looks familiar for some reason with the hair like that as a zombie. I can't think of the character. Like, I forgetificated. Anyway, so if we're going to do hair, which I'm not going to do hair, give yourself a hair line. I usually do it in dots, and then my hair kind of comes off from those dots. God, what the? I think my mustache is tickling me. People have hair that come all the way down. Like this is his head is pretty high actually, so his hairline should actually start about here, probably. But I'm going to do some stuff with the head. You have sideburns, obviously, or a beard even, depending whatever. And got him or sneeze. Quit it. Okay. I keep hearing kids coming down. Got like 50 of them. So I'm going to actually have like to contrast this side, I'm going to have like a piece gone here. And all right, we'll do that. So we'll just kind of have you like that for a second. Now, here's the kicker. Keep in mind, you have skin. This is all a big flap. If I was to take this and just gouge my skin right now, I could literally peel this back. And it's just going to be a big old flap. Big old flap. Wave hello. So you got to keep that in mind. Where does the extra skin go? If it gets ripped completely clean off, it isn't going to look like that. But that's a pretty standard look. Actually, when you tear flesh, it peels kind of more like, what would I describe it as? It's pretty smooth. It doesn't tend to come out quite so, like smooth by comparison. It's not quite so super jagged. It doesn't matter. And legally, I'm not supposed to talk about it, okay? So, the case is still pending. And here's the deal. So instead, we're going to kind of give it these little skin flaps. So what we're going to do is this. For our zombie, we're going to give it kind of a fold over. See? Like the skin right here. Going to give it kind of a little indent, a little curve, and a little kind of flop over. Pretty easy. And we're just going to kind of do it a couple of times. Not much, just a little bit to kind of indicate the skin has flopped over, right? And then we can leave the rest kind of up and jagged. Like that. Okay, so that way when we put the skull, which is going to actually be a slight bit underneath it, it'll actually go under the skin area. Boop, boop, slightly. All right, let's get this shit on the road, shall we, people? So we're just going to do some hair here. It's obviously going to be like just short hair. The great thing about pencil work is hair is easy. And you're doing zombies, so nobody gives a shit about hair. So hair is literally like, oh, look, it's just weird, wild, crazy people hair. Just, oh, hair everywhere. If you want to make zombies look really cool with hair, don't give them a hairline. Don't give them anything. Just make them bald with random pieces of hair. Looks way better. Way, 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 way better. Because then it just looks like, I don't know, they had the scurvy or something. They shaved their own head with a fucking whatever. Because then all of a sudden it's like, well, why is their hair all wacky like that? And you're like, I don't fucking know. They just have weird patches of hair here and there all over their fucking head. And nobody knows really what the hell's going on with their head, you know? You just jab your pencil. Just jab it. And it gives it the thing. Because your hair, see, it's going to be, oh, I'm sorry. Your hair, as you jab it, comes off like little spigots, little hairs. And we're just making little hairs, little lively hairs. Look at these little hairs. Just little dashes through the snow on a one-horse open zombie. I'm gonna eat some people. Just remember, don't go past the hairline though, because if you go past the hairline, then yeah, it's gonna look weird when he has hair all down here coming around, you know. And you're like, what the fuck? Why has he got hair coming down all over his? Like, I understand the hair up there, but why has he all of a sudden got hair coming? And then, you know, add some just dots. In there also to help add for the effect of tiny little hair, like doblets. You know, I just say words, people, okay? I make this shit up. Now, this is going to be a layer you might have to do a couple of. I don't know. Because if we do the shading thing, oh, you'll probably need it. Now, also, we have his eyebrow. Same thing. Eyebrows are same basics. You just take up and you just go with the flow of the eyebrow. You know? Eyebrows are hard. But eyebrows are also simple. Once you get the hang of eyebrows, because eyebrows are literally this. They're a line, a curvature line, by the way, that follows an arc of an eye. And as they go toward the end, they taper out to longer lines. And that's it. They're not that hard. But they are that hard. Because a lot of people just draw eyebrows like, it's an eyebrow. Like, wow, Jesus, that's an eyebrow, huh? So as you can see, our zombie's coming along pretty decent. Little nice, cute zombie, right? Bad thing is he's in black and white. So a lot of this stuff that you're going to be dealing with is going to be in a dark color or not. Going to give him a couple of lines, a couple of wrinkles on the forehead so I can pretend it's like me. A little bit of a mouth mark down here. Some kind of around the jawline down there. Scribble marks and stuff, like a couple of marks on the eyes, you know, give them a little bit of that. Maybe in the inside too. Let me erase some of this because we got him all up. He's all tore up and he looks like shit. All right. So I got to put this down here to actually doodle. So here's what we're going to do. You should have a basic zombie at this point. Okay. This is where the freedom comes into play. If you followed along here, and I hope you did, because this is the basics. So this is just a sketch session. Yeah, I figured I wanted to make it kind of a sketch session. Originally, I had something else planned, but I thought it'd be fun to do some stuff with pencil, graphite, and then show technique of shading with it. But yeah, I didn't really plan ahead like I wanted to. Sorry, Erica. So just thought I'd throw it together and see what happens. Cool. Okay, all right. You're like my my okay person. I'm like, is that okay? And so anyway, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make a fucking zombie now. So by now, this is a mess, but that's okay because we have ripped up skin that we're just going to add to it. Dark. See? I didn't plan ahead either. Yeah, right. See, I didn't really explain anything, and I'm like, shit. I'm just gonna see what happens. Fuck it. But because he has some skin action over here, and I'm gonna just make it where it's like the skin is flopped down here. So we're just gonna do this whole number. Now, when shading in with your pencil, we talked about earlier doing little circles. Helps a lot. Your dark lines are your emphasis lines. Emphasis in what is going to be focused upon because everything else is going to be shading. If you're using a single colored pencil as opposed to something like charcoal, then you're going to have to work on this because pencils only go so dark. The graphite only goes to a certain level of tone in black, period. So, I mean, you can get really dark with it, but you can't get like super dark with it by comparison to some of the charcoals. Some of them can. It's I guess relative to the type of graphite or whatever. And I don't know. I've discovered some of them are darker, some of them aren't. So anyway, at this point here, I'm just going to be adding extra random weirdo shit so I can make damn sure this is covered up good. Because this is going to come in dark, and we're going to have this. We're going to have like the jaw here. We're going to have like all this. And at this point, I'm going to put like a rip crack thing up in his mouth and his skin. It doesn't even make goddamn sense. Going to kind of put a cleft lip there, darkening that lip. So I'm emphasizing my lines now. Because I like them. I'm going to keep them. Keeping his nose. Unfortunately, I hate noses, like I've said a million times, but I'm going to keep them because I'm going to shade them in. So it's still there. But this is like that now. I'm going to kind of flap that skin, making it like tore up from shit.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, Kyra.
You're a person.
I am a person. Thank you. You're also a person.
I see you bought the double and Kyra.
Shh.
Huh?
I love you. I did. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You should have bought that guy devil. I know you really wanted.
No, I don't want him. I wanted the chick because she has the cool wings.
Chick.
Oh, I wanted the chick.
What about the devil lighter?
Yeah, that thing's cool too, but I'm not worried about it right now. One day.
One day you'll get it.
Yeah, one day I'll get that one too, but not right now. So now we're going back through emphasizing all the lines, making sure that everything I want is where I want it. So that way, whenever I do start shading, we're good. You know, gonna emphasize this eyeball. I actually have to add the eyeball in a minute. No biggie. Not even really worried about it. Hang on a second. Now, I guess, okay, that I don't have to really add the eyeballs. I could have them just have white eyeballs and put little black dots and go all Marilyn Manson. I'm drawing a zombie head.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I had the same dream about the same look of that zombie.
Whoa.
Literally.
Well, that's cool. So let me get these teeth in here really good and dark. The reason why I'm going so dark is so if anything happens and they get overshaded with any kind of bullshit, then they will at least be sticking out there, and I can hopefully correct it. Hopefully, as usual. Just it's all about hope. Yeah. All right. So I think I'm happy with that. Now, let's start shading. This is the fun part. Everything goes into shading. Well, I didn't do any of that meaty McMeterson stuff here, but this is all going to be dark, bloody-ish looking stuff. You have a hole back here. We're just going to blacken that in all the way. Because right behind your teeth, if you didn't have any jaw there at all, or anything there at all, it would have, just stop. You'd have a big gash there. But you also have like a weird line that kind of goes from the back down. That's where your nerve actually follows, future reference. Hi. And you actually have like a, you actually have a lot of muscles right here. You have a huge amount of muscles. So if we kept that all there, but I'm going to just say like it got ripped out. Because I can say that. Because I'm the one who's drawing it, okay? So my zombie doesn't have that.
Hey, Dad,
What?
how do you talk if you don't have teeth?
How do I talk if I don't have teeth?
Yeah.
Very carefully. With my mouth. You don't use teeth to talk.
You need that?
Yeah, you're supposed to, but I'm a freak. And I don't need teeth to talk, sweetie. Because I learned not to.
You just told all your followers that you don't have teeth.
I don't care.
You used to never tell anybody.
Why do you try to embarrass me all the time?
Because you embarrass me all the time.
How do I embarrass you all the time?
You yell at me all the time.
Yelling at you is not embarrassing you.
I'm not embarrassing you because you yell. Embarrass me a lot.
Apparently I embarrassed my daughter. So here's my zombie so far. Now let's do it. So anyway, and if you're following along at this point here, I don't really have, it's all about shading. Shading is a hard thing to really go with. Well, to start light and think about where your shadows are going to land. Like obviously if, you know, you got light coming on your head and your skin is ripped off, you're going to have shadows definitely under where they got ripped off at. So make sure everything that's underneath has a nice light shadow to it. You know what I mean? For sure. Now, granted, that should all be bloody, so it should all be really dark anyway. But you're definitely going to want to have that shadow to contrast that level, that layer from the skin, boop, to the under meaty side. See what I'm saying? And that's how that works. Same thing goes for down here. I mean, you're definitely... This is why a soft tip pencil is really nice for this kind of stuff. Soft tip allows nice shading. That's why I like this 9-point lead. But the more out you go, bring out your shade, taper it off to be lighter, and you'll get more of a, crap. My internet went down on my YouTube, on my Facebook. There it is. Anyway, if you're shading the like this, again, you know, you're start dark and then kind of, oh, that was dark. Hold on, I'm looking through there. Start dark and kind of lighten it up as you go out. It'll give you that kind of appearance that it's really dark right here, Like, oh, but you know, something, it's a light. If you start dark in the darker parts and lighter towards the lighter parts, that's where the light starts. Rhyming like a little kid, it works better to explain things. Now I know why they do it for little kids. But it's just that simple. And then it gives you the appearance that it gradually is brightening up. See? Gives it much more of a 3D effect, if you will, right? Not too shabby. Again, keeping in mind that this should all be really dark because it's all bloody and stuff because his face got ripped off. Unless he's an old zombie and he didn't have blood, and then, you know, what else? Technically, I should probably shade the whole skin in, you know? And I'm using my fingertip here lightly to bring in the outside a little bit. That's kind of a light shade, maybe. I don't know if you can see that very well, but on the outside, it's a little bit light of a shade now, slightly. Meh. But, scratch my arm, scratch my arm. But basically, we'll do that with everything. So we're just going to kind of highlight all of it, give it all a weird shadowy look. Now I'm not doing the circles here that much. I'm doing like big ovally shapies. That's good. I'm just trying to hurry a little bit. And I'm going to darken it in toward the parts that are going to be connected to the next layer up to give it a good 3D effect again. Just like I showed you a minute ago. Now I'm using the circles to help shade that all in. Keeping it darker toward the parts that should be dark, you know. And lightening it up as it comes up toward the light. That simple. So once again, give it kind of that little pop. Again, that's a little extreme there, but it's the effect I'm talking about here. This is just the technique. So we're using this as an example. You can do that for almost anything. I should probably start out with something simple like a fucking ball shape or a square. But again, I'm all about saying, like, screw that. Let's do, like, zombies. So I'm going to go ahead and give the zombie black eyeballs, little black dots, just like Marilyn Manson. He's a Marilyn Manson zombie. Let's see. He says, oh, that's what he says. But I'm also going to give him, like, a cool outer grayish eyeball. So light circle around his black pupil is all I'm doing. So now he's got kind of a nice little, oh, look at me, I've got eyeballs. Oh, eyeballs. Staring right at you. Which, again, normally wouldn't happen. Normally they'd be like, oh, you know, whatever. But this zombie's mostly my practice zombie. You know, to show techniques, ideas, things of that nature. So, because if I was going to go with this motherfucker, I'd be like going crazy right now. Which I think I'm going to here in about 2 seconds. I'm just going to let it go and doodle it out. Because I think you guys have the basic ideas of pencil stuff. That, and I don't know. I'm not good at teaching. Maybe I should just never do this again. The painting thing might have worked out good the other day because it's more psychology. And I think I'm better at that than I am at painting. I've had enough psychologists tell me every goddamn little thing wrong with me that I could be like, all right, everybody, here's what we need to do. Let's get ourselves better. When it comes to this shit, I'm like, I don't know how to art. But I am going to color all this in just a little bit darker, slightly. So it gives the whole thing a parted effect, a different effect from being the color of the rest of it, you know, so you know it's not the same, leaving the teeth white. Like that. Maybe I should go check out like what Bob Ross used to be do and teach people. He'd be like, I'm Bob Ross and I teach people how to art. So I could be like, all right, guys, take a big ass brush and pow, there's a fucking mountain. You're done. So, so that's what it looks like right now. If you've gotten this far, congratulations. You give a shit to watch that far. I've been boring today. I'm sorry. So now it's time for me to do what I do. So give me about 2 seconds. I'm just going to do whatever the fuck I want. And then, yeah, I'll be done. And I'm going to take a picture. So at this point, you should have a pretty decent little zombie. Yeah, you should be all right, bro. And, you know, a little bit of shading, a little bit of technique on shading there, and a little bit of everything else. Didn't really do good for teaching today, but that's okay, because now I'm going to do what I want to do. And make this zombie a freaking zombie, you know? And I'm going to make him meaty zombie. When doing shading also, though, you can do backlights. Like I did a nice little light on the backside here, darkened it up, giving him some extra lights on this weird skin rips over here and shit, you know, like making them look like they matter when they don't. And yeah, you'll see. It's on the television, guys. My dogs don't give a shit. They're like, oh, something to bark at? Bark, 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 bark. They don't give a shit if it's on the TV or not. They'll just go bark at whatever. Bark at random shit, dogs. Thanks. Good job, guys. You're at least doing something. At least doing their job. At least doing their job. Which I do appreciate, but it's still annoying sometimes as fuck when they're just bark, bark, bark. And I'm like, shut up. God, just shut up, dogs. Why do you bark all the time at everything? When you know there's nothing out there. Now, the beautiful thing about pencil is you can run through some pencil work now and again, and you can get some pretty amazing shit. You just kind of sketch it and blur it and go for it and not even really worry about half the shit. Just enjoy the work with it. This nose is garbage. I hate noses. I hate noses so much. So bad at noses. You know? Some people are amazing at noses, and I'm just like, fuck you, bro. Like, who the fuck are you at noses? Show me up like that. I'm just kidding. I don't get jealous or anything like that. I just, I like to say fuck you to people all the time. Even my friends, I'm like, fuck you, man. How are you so good at that? When when they're better than me at something. That's how I let them know they're better than me, by telling them, fuck off. When my friends think I'm angry at them, that's how they know I care. I know I'm being boring, not talking, because I'm trying to hurry up and do this. And I do want to keep this eye as white as I can. That may not be that easy. I don't know. All right, let's try to darken that up better. Give him some good, almost sunken-y in feeling here around this whole area of ocular activity. Not bad, not bad. Kind of bringing these sides a little bit, because you know you got depth to the face too that you got to think about, and something we don't do enough. That's why I like to kind of shade in the cheekbones underneath a little bit, bring that up a little bit like that, and then right up here by the thing there. Oh, so far not too shabby. It's working out decently well. Not my best work, not my worst work. Again, it's just a sketch for kind of showing ideas, technique, and da 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 da. So it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna kind of darken in some of this in the back here, so it kind of brings out like a shadowy shade look. All right, looks not too shabby. Kind of got a shade in the teeth down here now. Okay, what are we doing here now? You don't really look that great. You need kind of a hard nose part right here, bro, for the zombie look. Oh, much better, much better. Much, 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 much better. Going a little harder on the zombie nose now. See, way better. Let me erase that top part just slightly. Looking good. Looking decent, at least. Decent, at least. Okay, obviously we got a little bit of shit here we got to take care of. Shadow-wise, we're just going to kind of mimic that a little bit. And give you a little bit of shade. Blendification. You know, I even forgot about my ears being here. They need to definitely be shadowed in too. I mean, you know, it's like, got ears, bro. You might want to remember that. He has hair down here too, so add in some hairs over on that, so the ears are a little bit covered up even there. Again, remember, graphite only has so much darkening ability that you can play with, and that is kind of an annoyance. So, I mean, you definitely got to work or worry about it. Yeah, now I'm getting really boring because I'm not talking. I'm just kind of like, I'm gonna just shade and make a zombie. So sorry, you got to kind of deal with that. I'm in the zone, the zombie zone, kind of like auto zone, only zombies and little scribble dots. Also, you can just like scribble, scribble, scribble little dots because it's a zombie. They're supposed to be like nasty. We haven't gotten to the plaguey part yet. This is just like ripped up skin parts. So sure, why not, right? It's like, all right, there's more to it, and more to come. It's just we've been kind of lazy about that part yet so far. I mean, sorry, my bad. Take my fucking time, 'cause that's what I fucking do. 'Cause that's what I want to do. What do you think about that, asshole? So I'll fucking do it. Got to put some little veins in his eyeballs. I mean, eyeballs have veins, especially if you're a zombie. They're going to be all over the goddamn place, right? I mean, that's how zombie. That's how eyeballs work, man. Scribbly, 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 scribble, 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 scribbles. I'm a zombie. I'm a zombie. I'm not really that good of a zombie, but I'm kind of a decent zombie. I'm all right. I've done some decent zombie work. It's fine. It's whatever, bro. I'm an all right zombie. For being a quick sketch zombie, I'm cool. I'm all right, bro. I'm doing my zombie thing, bro. Not too much hate for you there, buddy. You're doing an all right job being a zombie. Other than my zombie so far, I'm a little. I can't really see a good now. YouTube looks pretty good on him, decently. He's all right. He's an all right zombie. He's okay. But you got to now add the weird plague spots. Plague spots are important, and they're just like weird, random patches of like obviously there's something wrong with them stuff, here and there, and like and those are like all kinds of, and those are discolored too. So here's the kicker: at times you have to discolor things to be different colors than other colors, and it makes it hard because all of a sudden you got like all these colors that are not colors because it's all black and white. So you have to remember that when shading everything in, to try and shade darker for this or darker for that, but then you got to keep it even darker in some areas because they already were shaded, and you're like, oh my fucking Jesus, this is too much shading. And like everything's so dark around here. What am I doing? And eventually you don't know. Eventually you're just, it's a big old mess of shit. A big old mess of crazy shit. Oh my God, my arms are so tired. My shoulders are going to be huge before I'm done with all this. Man, cancel culture is going to get at me just for talking like I'm gay. People are like, what? That's cultural appropriation. I'm like, shut up. Like, don't cultural appropriation my ass about that shit. I'm going to say whatever I want, however I want. Fuck off. Cancer culture. Cancel culture. My ass. That's what they are. They are cancer culture. They're not cancel culture, anything. They're cancer culture. Fucking trying to cancel people just because they say stuff or whatever. Let me redarken in my fucking ears because my ears are way too fucking light. They look like they're fucking my side flaps. There we go. Now, if I was using charcoal, I'd have a lot more range for shading and darkness and things. So if I was using charcoal, man, this could be like black, and I could really make things pop. But I'm only using graphite, so my depth is a little bit off, comparably speaking. Now, I could do more with it. But again, I'm not really that concerned with doing too much today. You know? I'm not really wanting to be super in depth. It's just supposed to be a quick sketch. Started taking way longer than I planned it to. But that's because I was busy going, oh, hey, look, I'm going to show you kind of some techniques, which didn't even really work out that well. I think I'm going to quit trying to be a teacher until I learn myself. Maybe we should just learn together. Maybe we should call learning to art together with 4. Not just like a salami, like pieces of salami on his head. Like, my bad. He's like this salami head. He's got little salami heads. I need to kind of make that outside of this a little bit better or something. Like some kind of veins or something coming off of those. Yeah, little veiny looking things. So it looks like they've got something going on with them. Oh, I never finished his eye up here. Shit, I'm sorry. Let me finish making that eye look mean as fuck. That eye was supposed to look good. So let me add some really good darkness to the eye. Much better. Okay, I just kind of added like a weird little, I don't know, like weird little liney thing. It looks kind of dumb now that I did it. Yeah. But I added some weird little liney things to my zombie things, and it looks kind of stupid now that I did it. So, but you know, it was my little zombie for the day. Not too shabby. He came out all right. I have done way better zombies than that. I've done way worse zombies than that. But he's all right. He's okay. Me. I'm not the most disappointed in my zombie. Today's little sketching adventure didn't quite work out as planned. But I didn't really have anything planned. I just thought, hey, I'll just go in and maybe sketch a little bit and talk about things. And God, today's lame too. Boring. Next week, I'm going to get back into actual painting. Get back to my roots of what I'm doing. Making art overall has been weird. But anyway, I guess thanks for the couple of people that stuck around the whole time. The rest of the people got bored. Sometimes I guess some of these are going to be boring. I'm sorry. I'm going to try to keep them exciting. Like juggle fucking flaming bags of dog shit or something. No, I'm not going to do that. Anyway, so goodbye, YouTube. And goodbye, Facebook.